Good morning, everybody, or afternoon, I guess, in some places. Welcome to Leveraging the Power of Product Reviews. I am here with Matt Solomon, most of whom you guys probably know. He is the co-founder and chief business development officer here at Channel Program. For those on the call that maybe don't know me, I'm Caitlyn, the VP of Community and Engagement here at Channel Program. And I'm really looking forward to being able to talk to you guys about our product reviews and what's changing and how that's going to affect some of the new stuff that we've put into the platform. Yeah, did I miss anything, Matt? It's going to be a jam-packed 30 minutes.
For a second, I thought you forgot your last name when you were introducing yourself. I don't think you actually said your last name. You went into your title instead. But just to let everybody know. I mean, feel free to obviously make comments throughout the thing. We definitely want to look. We all know you guys are busy, so we definitely want to try to kind of dive into things pretty quickly. But we've got a lot of changes. I really think Channel Program where we're headed, and it's going to be just massive, and we want to make sure you guys are well aware of the updates that are taking place. And really just want to dive into particularly reviews, but we'll get into some updates as well throughout the session today.
Awesome. Before we kick things off, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the partner and customer success team as a whole. So we are rapidly expanding here. I feel like we're onboarding new partners almost on like a daily basis now, which is super exciting. I am going to bring up the newest member of our team, Susan Goodsell, to the stage. Our new customer success manager. So I'm sure you guys have heard from her. She sent out a reviews email to kind of prep you guys for this call about a week ago now, 10 days ago maybe. But I wanted you guys to be able to put a face to a name. She is going to be your go-to girl to get everything done if you guys aren't able to get something done yourself. So over the next few weeks, you guys will probably hear from her either by email or scheduling a call to touch base on where you guys are with your accounts. But Susan, why don't I hand it over to you so you can talk a little bit about your experience in the channel and kind of what your role is going to look like here at Channel Program.
Yes, thanks, guys. So I'm very excited to be working with the Channel Program. I have about 7+ years in customer success.
Oh, no.
And then the latter part of it was actually working on the vendor side.
You're good.
So I'm really excited to put my knowledge. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I have about 7+ years of experience working in the CS side. First half of that experience was actually working for an MSP company based out of south of Atlanta. And then the latter part of that was actually working on the vendor side. So really being able to bridge the gap between the two. Here we are at Channel Program. So really excited to be working with you guys on how we can elevate your consoles or to your platforms to the next level and really seeing that return on your investment.
Cool. Well, we're super excited to have you here, Susan. Thank you so much. I know you will be backstage keeping an eye on things. Any questions that you guys ask in the chat, Susan will make note of if it requires some follow-up. So don't feel like you guys can't raise your hand on anything. We'll try and get to as much as we can. But this is being recorded. So if anybody from your team wasn't able to make it, or if you want to go back and watch it, any questions come after the fact, just let us know. But we are good to go, I think. Let's dive into this, Matt. I know we have tons of stuff to cover. Thanks, Susan.
All right. So we're probably both hitting the remove
button
right now. All right. So where are we going to jump in first topic? Where are we, Caitlyn, here?
Why don't we start with product reviews as a whole? So why do product reviews matter to you as a vendor, and why do they matter specifically in relation to Channel Program? Do you want to kick that off, Matt, or do you want me to dive in?
Why don't you dive in, and then I'll share my screen as we kind of talk about what else it drives in our platform with stack charts and other areas.
Cool. Yeah, so as we know, most of us on this call probably know that the channel is directly driven by peer-to-peer feedback. That's why we've seen so much success in peer groups and other products taking off based solely on word of mouth. So product reviews as it relates specifically to Channel Program are really validating your guys' solutions from a peer-to-peer perspective. So we have, as you guys know, our stack charts. We do have our top trending products and companies sections on stack charts. Matt's just going to pull that up for you guys right here. If anybody on this call hasn't seen these right now, or hasn't seen these before, pardon me, these are linked directly to the products that you guys choose to showcase on your profiles. Any category that you guys drop your solutions under does have a stack chart associated to that. You can visit your stack chart by simply clicking the link under your guys' product and driving to the categories. So this is, by the looks of it, backup and data recovery. As you can see, a little bit of a competitive chart. We do have quite a few vendors in our platform that do cover this area.
Yeah.
The nice thing about this chart is it's living and breathing. I know that you guys have probably heard of G2, you've heard of Capterra. Those reports, those statistics normally only come out on a quarterly or yearly basis. What we've done to really differentiate ourselves in this area is offering these charts in a living, breathing format. Any one of these vendors, if you logged in and drove 100 reviews today, your position on these stack charts would change in real time. So as you can see, Datto's probably got BCDR up there. Accion's got BCDR. Two amazing companies, huge partner base. Both have done a great job in providing product reviews and their users to provide product reviews into our platform. They are at the stack of the charts as a result of that. Matt, do you want to explain the quadrants also a little bit?
Yeah. So, the two areas really are satisfaction, obviously the more satisfied to the right, and then popularity, the amount of different reviews that are being given. But I want to point out, it also has to do with the timeliness of a review. So it's important to continue to get reviews because new reviews have a higher point system in our algorithm, because a review from 2 years ago just doesn't simply have the same value as a new one because the products change. So if an MSP, they would do a search term. If they typed in backup, this is an area that they would potentially come to. But again, we're trying to make you understand that a product review isn't just an area for MSPs to see and read the reviews. It plays directly into this chart, as Caitlyn mentioned, in real time. So again, these can literally change by the minute. An MSP can also scroll down here. So Datto, for example, has 95 reviews, so they can click in, see more, and they can really go through and read those. They can change it. Maybe they just want to look at who the chart toppers are, so they can kind of get a sense of their challengers, high potential. So they have those options to kind of customize their experience. The other area that this plays into is what we have. Let me pull it up. It's our top trending products and top trending companies. And again, all of this is based on real-time information that's coming in from product reviews and things like that. So again, you can kind of see the top trending products, and we post this stuff every Friday all over social media. So it does get, pretty good buzz around it. And certainly would encourage, if you're on that list currently, that you would take a snapshot of it and repost it, because it's social validation, which I know is something we're going to talk about. And then again, top trending companies, and it's pretty consistently changing. I will give Datto credit; they've been at the top for the last probably like the last 2 weeks. They've been right there. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, Matt, just to chime in here, because John McCabe does have a quick question. John, I can't remember off the top of my head what company you're from, but product reviews are done. We do market product reviews to all of our MSPs. Matt and I are on the road. We talk about it all the time. We do offer $15 per product review on our platform. If an MSP comes in, they can review the solutions. They get a gift card for their time. We do have vendors. This was a great marketing trick from Augment. They stacked our $15 with $25. So for every product review that's left for an Augment solution, not only does the MSP get $15 from us, they also get $25 from Augment. It's been a great way that they've been able to really boost reviews for their solutions. We will say this a few times. Post this event, you guys are going to get an email with not only the recording from this webinar, but we do have a marketing kit that we are going to provide to you guys as well. We'll talk a little bit about this as we continue through on how channel program is supporting you guys in terms of leveraging product reviews from your partners, trying to make it really easy for you guys to get that feedback from the people using your solutions. So that's a few ways, John. Again, you're from Safeguard. Okay,
yeah, but Caitlyn, what I want to point out, so in addition to our efforts, your own efforts,
yes,
MSPs are just naturally doing it as well. So if they search a product and they want to give a product review, they're doing that. We've got over 3,300 product reviews in the platform to date. So
yeah,
a variety of different ways to get reviews.
Yeah, and John, we'll get Susan to reach out to you directly after this call, and we'll walk you through on how you can do that on your side as well. So that's pretty much how it's done organically, us, and then of course you guys asking your partners as well.
Yeah, and we've had, for the first 3,300 reviews, we've had some, probably eight questions that we ask, and we're making a huge change. And I'm not going to go over this too much in detail because again, you'll see it, but I'll share my screen here in a second. But the idea is that we want to provide kind of like more comprehensive reviews so that you as a vendor also are benefiting from the feedback. And let me share my screen here again, and I'll pull it up. All right, so I've got it in a Word document. So these are the proposed questions that should be coming out on October 2nd. So one, and there's a lot of changes. When did you last actively use the technology service? So again, you're not just getting a review, you're getting a sense of when's the last time they actually used the product. How would you rate the overall performance? And even though this is 15 questions, it takes less than 5 minutes to do it. We've practiced it multiple times from our staff. How satisfied are you with the render's reliability? How satisfied are you with the support, user experience, user friendliness? How easily are you able to deploy, implement? So again, these are starting to get into questions that really can help you build a better process around. Because if everybody keeps saying it's hard to implement, well, then you can go back to your product team. And we all know it's much different giving that feedback from MSPs than them taking your word for it that a bunch of MSPs are saying it. So it really does empower you. Scalability, integrations, pricing, ROI, and then some of these other ones are pretty similar. How likely are to recommend? What are the 3 aspects of their channel program do you like best? What are 3 strengths of the solution? And then one, on the other hand, what are the things they can improve? And then the one that is going to start to go behind the, at least for now, we're not going to put this out publicly. Are there any features or functionalities you would like to see in the vendor solution in the future? So we're going to start taking that back for privacy purposes. At the moment, that's at least our decision, and you'll be able to pull a report on that. And again, I can't think of a more valuable piece of information from a roadmap standpoint. And again, to be able to give your product team, because Caitlyn, we've joked about this, like I hear something on the road, you hear something on the road, we take that back to the team. They're like, okay, but how many MSPs are really saying it? It's different when you can pull a report and 30 MSPs have asked for the same, functionality. So those are the big changes to the questions that are coming up.
Yeah, and while those are the changes, one thing that I would love to see our partners utilizing more as well is you can, within your platform, your admin dashboard, export the reviews that partners have already left you as well. And there is a question in there that allows an MSP to raise their hand on whether or not they are willing to be an advocate for your product. Something Matt and I talk about a lot is that we do see the same faces out in the channel on evangelists for certain products, and we've really provided the opportunity for you guys as vendors to start largening the pool of that based on the good
diversifying your testimonials, because at some point people lose some credibility when it's this, and sorry, everybody is guilty of it, using the same 3 to 5 people over and over again because they have really loud voices, and I totally understand that. But there's a lot of different MSPs in this space, so definitely, it's great to get a testimonial from somebody from Team Logic if you're involved with them, and somebody from CMIT, and just somebody from the UK. You got to diversify, and that is a great way. And I've used the example before, but one quarter we sent in the spreadsheet to Mail Protector, and I think they had 27 or 28 people saying they're willing to give testimonials to Mail Protector. So
Yeah.
Definitely
So
take advantage of
it's
that.
a great way to engage your like really your guys' partners that are willing to take that time to provide feedback as well. That's always a great way to like further the engagement with them also. So moving on, I know this is your favorite topic, Matt, so I'm probably going to let you take this one, but what makes our platform, channel programs, reviews, rankings different than the other ones that you guys may have seen in the space? I know that we've seen vendors share a significant amount of G2 badges lately in the space. And we're going to talk about maybe why that is not the best for this specific channel.
Yeah. So you said that in a much nicer way. Caitlyn, I didn't include you on the email yesterday. And by the way, apologies to everybody, because of course I made that mistake, and I know we've all done something like that, where I sent you guys the message to attend this, and I sent you the backstage link. So I got lots of jokes from people about attending the webinar and being a co-host. But I appreciate everybody that I had to follow up with and give the real link to. I wrote in there down with G2 and Capterra, and it's nothing against them personally as companies. And I may get some pushback from some of the people in this industry. I don't know. Some vendors obviously have some success with that. Here's the thing. When we first launched Channel Program, I went to Robin Robbins boot camp, and one of the things I said to people as an easy way to try to get them to understand part of our platform, I said, "Oh, well, think of us as like a G2 for the channel." And I'm not exaggerating. I said that 15 to 20 times, and the MSPs did not know what G2 was. And so I was like, all right, well, this is stupid. I'm not going to keep saying this, because then I had to pivot and say, okay, like the Yelp for the channel. Like that was the only way they would understand it. And again, I'm not naive. Of course, some MSPs know what G2 is, but it seems like the majority of MSPs that know what G2 is because vendors are pushing MSPs to give them reviews on G2, and that's sort of their introduction to G2. The problem with G2 and Capterra is that is where enterprise, it's based for enterprise. So having a bunch of reviews there might have some value, depending, obviously, if you sell in the enterprise. But if you're a channel only, you really should be pushing your reviews to our site. This is a channel only focus. Again, more than half your customers don't even know what G2 is. One thing I will say, and we do give out badges, and I saw this the other day, and no offense to the many partners who have G2 badges, but I saw at least 3 vendors promote that they got 50 badges in one quarter. And I just think from a credibility standpoint, that really is sending the wrong message. There's nothing special if you're getting 50 badges in a single quarter. So I do think it's important to understand that we're an entire platform built around this community. And so it's not just giving a review and being there. It's giving it to the actual community that you're looking to target. And I don't know if I'm getting any pushback here in the chat.
No, you're not. you've got some really good support on the front of what we're doing here. I do just want to leverage too. I think we have 6, maybe 5 badges that we give out on a quarterly basis. That doesn't include the Century Club badge, where when you hit 100 reviews, we do a special thing for that as well. So it is a little bit of an exclusive club, and I think it's going to become even more exclusive as we continue to grow. We have significantly more vendors as part of our platform than we did last quarter. So the competition is getting like a little bit more tighter. I always love to say too that we are really doing our best to drive those conversations away from like Reddit and like that anonymous nature that MSPs are very used to, taking feedback on solutions from those platforms and putting a true company behind the feedback that's being left for you guys. Something we didn't talk about when we were going over top trending companies and stuff, no one on this call can pay to be a top category vendor. It is completely organic. It's completely left by the feedback that is left from the community. And while we would love you to pay us to be on all of the charts only, it is completely open ecosystem. So while there are a few changes coming to the stack charts, and we'll talk about that towards the end of the webinar, not everybody in every stack chart or every reviewed product is also a partner of ours today. They will be at some point, but so it really is a community organic left way of MSPs being able to come and really find those solutions that are good for us. good
Yeah,
for
and it's
them.
important. It's important that it's an open ecosystem, because then we build the trust with the MSPs that this is a place they can go, and
Yeah.
it's not controlled by some larger conglomerate. And so, look, I know we're very close to getting into how we're going to really help, really push this and simplify these efforts. But real quick, Caitlyn, I know you've been working with partners. Do you want to just share a couple of success stories?
Yeah. We have worked quite closely with vendors to help create some messaging around how you guys can push reviews to your partners. So I know Stacy from Sophos asked a question in the audience as to whether or not we pay for reviews that the vendors push. The answer is yes. Any MSP that comes into the platform and leaves a review, whether they come from you or whether they come from another vendor or we push them ourselves organically, we do pay that $15. So no worries about that. That does not come out of your pocket. It is something that we provide our community as a value add. With that being said, we have sent out a few templates, graphics, and emails at which Mail Protector really leaned into, Cyber QP has leaned into, SaaS Alerts really leaned into. And I think those were some of our early Century Club members. They really asked their partners to just take a few minutes and share how they were feeling about their solutions on social and email. And the way that they were able to do that was from the support from the customer success team. So that is part of your guys' package with us. You do have Susan and I at your disposal. So if resources are short for you guys, like I said, we are sending out campaigns in a box after this webinar, where you will be able to download 4 emails for themes around product reviews. So you can queue those up and send them to your partners to drive product reviews on our platform. Again, something we pay your MSPs for. But we do also have another option that there has been a few vendors that have taken advantage of, is if you guys have a partner list that you would like Channel Program to promote reviews for on your behalf, and you do have a third-party marketing agreement in your terms of service with your MSPs, we are also happy to queue up campaigns for you and drive reviews from our side for your specific products as well. So 2 ways that we can help you drive product reviews, either from that campaign in a box perspective or from us driving those campaigns on our side out of our marketing engines, but to your partner lists.
Yeah, and the campaigns in the box, Caitlyn, we're sending in an email, correct?
Yeah. So of course, again, we will talk a little bit about what's coming with Command. Until folders are implemented into Channel Command, I do unfortunately have to send all of you guys a zip folder, because I think we're sending you guys like 30 or 40 different graphic options, which I was unable to upload into the platform for you guys to grab from our Channel Command dashboard. So the email that you get this afternoon will have the recording, but it will also have a little zip drive file. No phishing, no cybersecurity issues to worry about here. It will be your campaigns in a box, I promise.
Yeah. The other thing I want to mention, and I know not every vendor here has a user conference.
Yes.
If you do have a user conference, I'm going to strongly encourage you that you invite Channel Program to be there, not as a paying sponsor, but as a partner, and to help drive product reviews. We're about to do it in a massive way at DattoCon. We've done it at PAX 8. We've done it we just did it at Build IT Live, excuse me. And I just want to show you guys an example of the effect of this. And this is a 7-figure MSP has done a great job of incorporating us into their user events. And you can see how they've drastically benefited from us getting their MSPs to do product reviews live at an event. So, if you go here, if you were looking at peer groups, they're the ones getting all the reviews right now in the platform because of that partnership.
Yeah. And again, this is something too that we can work with you on, is if you want to offer a special offering to your partners at that event with the support of Channel Program, we can help market that leading up to the event as well. So tons of ways to get us involved in your guys's in-person events from a review standpoint. So don't hesitate to reach out if that's something that you guys want to open the conversation of. We do have some great success stories as well for that. So something we love to do.
Yeah. Okay. So upcoming, I think we're on the upcoming release. Is that correct, Caitlyn?
Let me just quickly. So we talked about the social validation, what we can do more, how we make this easy. So yeah, October 2nd release. What's coming up next week?
Yeah. So the biggest thing, and it kind of, let me share my screen. I'll show you some of the, they're small things, but also important because you our partners have asked for certain things, and we're delivering on those. So these are for the vendors who are taking advantage of the partner portal. So I'm going to go in and give you an example. So this is around the white labeled materials that you would provide to an MSP. And then let me just make sure I've got my notes correctly on this. So a couple of the things that we were asked to add as additional features. So one, you have the ability, of course, to drag and drop, or the MSP has the ability to drag and drop a logo into the platform. One of the requests is that you have the ability to apply it to all pages. Now, this isn't going to be a pretty version, but you now will see on page 2 that logo now appears on page 2 as well. So that was one of those features that was asked to be added. Asset dimension, so just making sure if you make the logo bigger and smaller that it retains, of course, the sharpness. That has been fixed. Information, so if somebody wants to create a text thing that they want to put into the platform, like again, I'm just doing a very quick version of it, but channel program, the MSP would put their information for contact information. They can do a variety of things. They can apply it to all pages. They can change the font, the color. So that was requested. And then the ability to upload not just PDFs, but also PowerPoint and Word files. So that's all kind of going into this next release. And some of these already actually exist from the last 2 weeks. So again, all those kind of minor changes, but again, changes that we had requested to us from the MSPs. Let's see. The other major change that's going to happen is around something we call Navistack. So it kind of all plays into each other. So for those who don't or are not familiar, we just had a major release on August 1st. It was kind of in its beta. We've essentially unleashed the first visualization tool for an MSP to visualize their stack. And so what they're doing is they're now adding the vendors that they work with into their stack, and they're having their in some cases, the entire organization is having this visual now to really just get a sense of their stack today, because this is version 1. But what it plays into is many other aspects of our platform. So if you were a vendor, and I'll use SaaSalerts as an example because they do have the partner portal. So this is an MSP's view. So I'm an MSP. I've uploaded all of these vendors to my stack. If this vendor has decided to have a partner portal in our platform, the MSP would be able to go up to my vendor portals. And this is our big thing that we've pushed upon the community, which is the ability to get into partner portals in a single place versus having to log into 30 different portals. And so you can see, like, as an MSP, I'd be able to go into Blackpoint, Blumera, Nodeware, SaaSalerts. Actually, a lot of these other ones, they just haven't technically given this MSP access, right? So this is a fake environment. But the idea, again, is that I can, as an MSP, you've now made my world easier to get all of these materials. Generally speaking, most partner portals have a 10% utilization rate because it's impossible for MSPs to log into 30 different portals. It gives them the ability to communicate with their vendors in a single source and get those materials in a single place. So it just changes the way you're able to communicate with your partners. Pretty soon, we'll have a broadcast message capability where you'll be able to actually send out a message to all the MSPs in your universe in our platform saying, like, hey, come check out this new product update. So it's supplemental to all the marketing efforts you're doing, but we all know there's nothing worse, and I'm putting my ID agent hat back on here. There's nothing worse than doing a awesome update to your solution, sending out an email and getting a 20% open rate from your partners. So that means 80% of your partners don't even know about it. So you have to attack them in so many different ways. Everybody takes in data in a different way. And where we're going to start to become a game changer in this space, and it's going to change, it is really going to completely change the relationship from a partner management standpoint from both sides of the industry, is this is going to become the customized homepage for an MSP. So as they add things to their stack, not only will they have a stack score based on product reviews, it's going to start to create widgets. And this widget, an example of one of the widgets will be events from their stack, right? So if Inky or Mail Protector was doing a thought leadership webinar this Wednesday, well, it's going to start showing up in that widget, and it's going to be focused just on their stack. So it's really going to start honing in on you, the vendor, the partner. Same thing with product updates. And this is going to be a collaborative effort, because you're going to have to give us some of your product updates that you're putting out publicly, but you'll need to put these into our platform so that it, again, creates a widget, and all the product updates from their stack are now aggregated into a single source. This simply does not exist. They're getting about 3,000 from their entire stack. They're getting about 3,000 different product updates throughout the year. So it becomes unmanageable, and we're absolutely changing kind of the game on this.
Yeah, Matt,
do you want to jump?
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. We just have a few questions from the audience that I want to make sure we get to. So Tish, the MSP right now, and this will lead into another update that's coming in shortly, is yes, right now the MSP controls where they drop solutions into what categories. So while your product may satisfy 2 categories, it's kind of a little interpretive of how the MSP sees it fitting into its stack right now. But essentially, anytime an MSP wants to put in communications, for example, they'll pick from every product that's uploaded into Channel Program, and they'll be able to put in there where that fits. That is going to be changed. And I don't think it's October 2nd, but it is on roadmap. We will start aggregating MSP stacks for them based on the product reviews that they've left. Is that coming out on the 2nd, or is that future?
Yeah, so I kind of want to take a step back there. So there's a couple updates that'll be taking place. This one, the one I'm speaking about, is going to be a future update. One, right now, you can tag your like when you put a product in, it can have 1 parent category and I think 1 subcategory.
Oh, perfect.
That is going to change. You're actually going to be able to, now it's on the honor system. If it gets abused, we're going to remove it, but you'll be able to pick 2 parent categories and 3 subcategories for each parent category. So you'll technically, because the concept is there's some products that carry over multiple categories. So that's from your side. From their side, as Caitlyn mentioned, they control their stack. If they believe Servacity is their backup product and their CRM, which it's not their CRM, but if that's what they believe, they can put Servacity in their CRM category. That's their choice. And so we wanted to have as much flexibility, and that came directly from the MSPs themselves. What Caitlyn was alluding to, all the products that have already gotten product reviews, in theory, you can make the pretty educated guess that that is part of their stack. And so what we're going to be doing on October 2nd is carrying over all the product reviews and sort of pre-populating the Navistack view for an MSP. So if they already have started on their Navistack, it's just going to add to it. If they've never done Navistack, it's going to, let's say I've done 5 reviews, it's going to carry over my 5 products, it's going to put them in the categories, and then it's going to kickstart the MSP to really starting to use this. And what it's going to start to do, and some of you vendors are going to get bombarded, especially the ones with lots of product reviews. Anytime a vendor, and you guys have already been getting these, so it shouldn't be like a total shock. Anytime an MSP adds you to their stack, you're getting an alert saying an MSP, partner has added you to their stack. If you have a partner portal, you're also going to want to give them access to the partner portal. And let me just show you this other example. So if I was doing Mail Protector, so if I was going to do Mail Protector bracket, it's going to ask me, am I a current partner or would I like more information? And I am very pleased to say we're seeing MSPs already today, even though it's a visualization tool, and it's going to promote them doing this a lot more once we have the scores. We've already handed out, I think there's been almost 60 inquiries that have said, I'd like more information. And just yesterday, I know we handed out leads to ScalePad and Pillar. So yeah.
So just to touch on this. So John, I did throw your question up there. The MSPs gain access to your partner portal as a vendor, not Channel Program. When I talk about Channel Program's Channel Command, you guys are our partners. So we'll be inviting you into our PRM at some point. We're just waiting for a few more features to get released so it stays clean and easy to use for you guys. With that being said, you will not be able to accept people into your Channel Command unless Susan or myself manually turns it on for you in the back end. So if that's a conversation that you guys want to have and you see value in using Channel Command to leverage the engagement with your partners, please let us know. It is an added feature currently, and we can talk about what that looks like as part of the current contracts that you're on and what changes may be coming for you to take into consideration on taking advantage of that. So if you currently do not have channel command turned on, and you would know because we would have had a very personal conversation about it, reach out to Susan@channelprogram.com, and I'll drop her email in here. We can set up a call, go over what that looks like, and how you guys can take advantage of that, especially going into this October 2nd release.
Yeah. And, I can't articulate enough. I think every one of you should be participating on some level with our command. And if you tell me you have invested a ton of money in XYZ, whatever, partner portal, again, I would encourage you to look at your utilization rate. And it's not about replacing those. And in fact, we've had major conversations with very large vendors who have partner portals, despite it only having 10% utilization rate. What we've kind of come up with as a potential solution to having this be as supplemental as possible is in a future release, we're going to have this headline banner somewhere kind of in between the top in here. And what we've said to them is put in like your top 5 or 10 documents that you would want any one of your partners to have access to. And understanding that you still want to drive them to your partner portal, that's where your entire library is going to exist. So that's what we're saying is put your main ones in, get them the things that they absolutely need access to. But if you want them to have access to your entire library and start utilizing that more, add that to your headline, and it can be a drive. It can actually be a driver to the full library. It'd be like, for the full library of content, click here and it'll take them to your portal. So again, completely can be supplementary to what your efforts are. My message is like, God, if we can add another 10% or 20% of your MSPs utilizing it, I mean, that for some of you, that could mean hundreds of MSPs utilizing your materials. And we all know if they're utilizing your materials, they're less likely to churn. So to me, it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, and I know we talk a lot about making the MSP lives easier, but we want to make your guys' lives easier too. We have heard from MSPs that it is very hard to engage in a one-to-one format with the vendors that they work with, and we're trying to bridge that for you guys using Channel Command as a platform. That does include the chat function, that does include the enablement materials, and again, even using it as a feeder system into your more robust partner portal if need be. So don't hesitate to reach out if you want to have those conversations. We have some great case studies from some of our vendors, our larger vendors, or vendors that currently have in-house partner portals and how they're using that. So let's just figure out how to make that work for you. We're willing to do that. One thing I do want to touch on, because I don't know if a lot of vendors on this call or even who are going to watch the recording know this, we have launched in-platform ads as well. This is a paid feature that you guys can add to your guys' partnership. So you may have seen some of them. Augment's taking advantage of it. This is Axient's partner event that's coming up, I think, next month. So they have this ad running for a few weeks. Again, reach out to Susan for the options on that. We do have them on stack charts, logged on homepage, top of category page, the Navistack page. So tons of opportunities for you guys to now get some more brand awareness around the platform as well, if that's something that you guys are interested in. A few people on this call do have it as part of their contracts. So let's have that conversation, and when we can slate those in for you. And then for those who do not have it as a value add currently included in their package, there is options for you to add that as well.
Yeah, and obviously today, and we'll end things here in a minute. We went over a lot. You're going to start seeing things in bite sizes as new releases come out. We'll probably just do short, quick videos. But this topic of product reviews and just Navistack is so important. I'm telling you guys, we are moving at lightning speed. The amount of we have so many tickets in the queue that we're working on to really drive this platform, and it's just going to be. It's going to be amazing for both sides of the industry. And, we just want to thank you guys for taking part. Last thing I'll mention, if you're not putting things in our industry calendar, please do. It's getting at least 6,000 views per month. And we're sending out emails every week to 10,000 MSPs saying, here's what's happening this week in the channel. So absolutely upload your demo days, your webinars, your local lunch and learns, anything. One of the changes you'll see soon at some point is the ability, especially this helps on the like road shows, or if you're doing those like local lunch and learns, is the MSPs will have the ability to sort by region and city, and also incredibly advantageous for you so that you're not planning something when 10 other vendors are planning the same thing in your city at the same time. So definitely take advantage of that. And I think that's it for today. I mean, it's a lot, but
yes, there is one more thing that I want to
oh,
mention.
there is one more.
And then we
Okay.
are going to wrap it up. But as much as we're building this for MSPs, we're building it for you guys too. So Matt, myself, Susan, we're in the platform so much that we may become like a little blind to something. So if you see anything in the platform that you don't love, or maybe you would like to see changed in a future version, or something that's missing, feel free to reach out to me personally. I will also drop my email into the chat. We want to make sure that we're building the vendor side that works for you. So shoot me a note, shoot Matt a note. Anytime you guys have suggestions, we take those very seriously. So we are happy to, oh, Stacey.
You know what?
Yes.
No, but we should. Well, but we should do an update. We'll do an updated one. I like this idea, Stacey. We probably won't create it as a webinar. We'll just do a recording and where we talk about it, and then just send you guys a link to watch it.
So a lot
good
of
idea,
people
Stacey.
that have been in this call are also part of holidays. I know it's a little bit of a little bit of a complicated campaign. So yes, I will do a small snippet and send it to you guys about what that campaign looks like. You will be working solely with me on some of those more lead generation value add campaigns. And I will do a better job this year than I did last year of explaining that and making sure that you guys are solely set up for success. Before I go, anybody on this call, I am going to Italy for 2 weeks for vacation. With that being said, Susan and Matt are going to have been nice enough to say they'll be my backup. So if anything gets delayed, that is why. Text me and I can get Susan on it right away or whatever, but we'll try and keep the responsiveness going while I am gone. But for the most part, holidays, lead generation, all-stars will come end of October when I'm back.
Cool. All right. I think that's it. We went longer than we expected, but
But I hope this was valuable, you guys. Make sure to send us any questions that you have. Susan is available to follow up with all of you guys individually. And stay tuned for that email. It is going to go out at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you don't get it, let us know. We'll send it. But hopefully this was valuable, and I look forward to enabling you guys to get the most out of your product reviews into Q4.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Bye.